February arrives, and something in you tightens. Not excitement, not anticipation, not the flutter that other people seem to feel when the calendar turns. Something closer to dread. You do not talk about it. You do not circle the date or count down the days. But your body knows. Somewhere deep, beneath the surface, beneath the part of you that goes to work and answers emails and smiles at the right moments, it has already started remembering. The decorations appear in stores, red and pink everywhere, hearts on every shelf, every window, every advertisement, couples holding hands in commercials, love songs playing on the radio, in coffee shops, in waiting rooms, roses wrapped in plastic, waiting to be given to someone who will smile when they receive them. And you feel it. Not joy, not even indifference. Something heavier, something old. It does not announce itself. It does not ask permission. It does not wait for you to be ready. It just arrives, like a guest you did not invite, but somehow expected, like a weight that settles into your chest and refuses to leave. Other people seem fine. They laugh about Valentine's plans. They complain about finding the right gift, the right restaurant, the right words. They scroll through dinner options and make reservations and ask each other what they are doing this year. But you are not thinking about plans. You are thinking about someone. Someone who is not here anymore. Someone whose absence becomes louder every February. Someone you thought you had moved on from. Someone you told yourself you were over. Someone whose name you do not say out loud anymore, but whose presence still lingers in the quiet spaces of your life. But you are not over it. Not completely. Not on this day. And the hardest part is that no one sees it. They see you going through the motions. They see you smile when you are supposed to smile. They see the mask you have learned to wear so well. But they do not see what happens when you are alone. The way your chest tightens when a certain song plays. The way you avoid certain places, certain photos, certain memories. The way your mind drifts back to a moment you have tried so hard to forget. It is not that you want to feel this way. You did not choose to carry this. It just lives in you. And every February, it wakes up. You wonder if you are the only one who feels this. The only one who hurts on a day the world calls love. You are not. You are not the only one. People would tell you to move on. They would say it has been long enough. That you should be past this by now. That holding on to old pain is a choice, and you are choosing to stay stuck. They would say it gently, or not so gently, with concern, or with judgment disguised as love. But they would say it. Because the world does not understand grief that does not have an expiration date. It does not understand pain that resurfaces without warning, without reason, without permission. It does not understand how a single day on the calendar can unlock something you thought you had buried so deep it would never find its way back. But here is what they do not see. You are not holding on. You are not choosing this. Your body is remembering. There is a difference, a big one. Grief is not a decision. It is not something you can logic your way out of or willpower your way through. It is not a switch you can flip or a door you can close forever. It lives in your nervous system. It lives in your senses. It lives in the way your body responds to certain triggers before your mind even catches up. A song comes on, and suddenly you are somewhere else. A smell drifts by, and you are back in a moment you thought you had forgotten. A date appears on the calendar, February 14th, and your body responds. Not because you are weak, not because you are stuck, because that is how memory works. It does not care about calendars or timelines or what other people think you should feel by now. It does not follow the rules of logic or fairness. It only knows what it experienced, and it holds on to the things that mattered most, even the painful ones, especially the painful ones. You are not broken because Valentine's Day hurts. You are human. You loved something real. You lost something real. And your body has not forgotten. That is not weakness. That is depth. The kind of depth most people are too afraid to feel. But you felt it. And you are still here, carrying it. That is not something to be ashamed of. That is something to be honored. There is something happening inside you that most people do not understand. When Valentine's Day approaches, your nervous system does not simply register a date on a calendar. It registers a threat, not a physical threat, not danger in the way the world usually defines it, but emotional danger, the risk of feeling something overwhelming, the risk of being pulled back into a memory you have worked so hard to contain, the risk of falling apart in a world that expects you to hold yourself together. And so your system braces itself. You might not even notice it consciously, but your body knows. Your sleep changes a few days before. You lie awake longer. You wake up earlier. Your dreams shift into something heavier. Your appetite shifts. Food does not taste the same. You feel more tired than usual, more irritable, more withdrawn, more sensitive to things that normally would not bother you. You might not connect it to the date at first. You might think you are just stressed, just busy, just off. But it is not random. Your body is preparing for impact. This is how grief works. This is how deep emotional experiences get stored in the body and reactivated by triggers that the conscious mind does not always recognize. Valentine's Day is a trigger, not because there is something wrong with you, because your nervous system is doing exactly what it was designed to do. It is scanning for danger. It is recognizing a pattern. It is trying to protect you from the flood of emotion it knows is coming. And so it pulls back. It numbs. It braces. It builds walls you did not ask for. Not to punish you, to save you. The problem is, the protection can feel like punishment. The numbness can feel like emptiness. The bracing can feel like being trapped inside yourself, while the world celebrates something you can no longer reach. And you wonder what is wrong with you. Why can you not just be normal? Why can you not just enjoy the day like everyone else? Why does something as simple as a holiday feel like walking through a minefield of memories you cannot escape? But nothing is wrong with you. Your system is responding to real pain. Pain that was real when it happened. Pain that your body stored because it did not know what else to do with it. And now, every February, it resurfaces. Not to torment you, to remind you that something mattered, that someone mattered, that the love you felt was real enough to leave a scar. And scars do not disappear just because time passes. They soften, they fade, but they stay, because they are part of your story now. The world does not make space for this kind of pain. Valentine's Day is supposed to be happy. It is supposed to be about love and romance and connection. It is supposed to be light. And if you are not light, you are a problem. You feel it in the way people talk around you. They share their plans, their excitement, their stories. And then they glance at you, waiting for you to join in, waiting for you to match their energy. But you cannot. And they notice. Maybe they do not say anything. Maybe they just pause, tilt their head, give you that look that says they have noticed something but do not want to make it awkward. Or maybe they do say something. You should get back out there. It has been a while. Maybe this is the year. You cannot stay sad forever. They mean well. Most of them do. But they do not understand. You are not sad because you want to be. You are not holding on to pain because it feels good. You are not choosing to ruin a perfectly happy holiday with your grief. You are simply feeling what you feel. And the world does not have a place for that. So you learn to hide it. You smile when you are supposed to smile. You nod when they talk about their plans. You say you are fine when they ask how you are doing. But you are not fine. And pretending to be fine is exhausting. You start avoiding things. Parties, dinners, gatherings where couples will be everywhere. Places that remind you of someone you are trying not to think about. You cancel plans. You stay home. You let the calls go to voicemail. You tell yourself you just need a quiet night. But the truth is you do not have the energy to perform happiness you do not feel. And so you disappear, quietly, without explanation. And the people around you fill in the blanks themselves. They think you are antisocial, bitter, stuck in the past. They do not see that you are just trying to survive a day that tears you open. They do not see the weight you carry when no one is watching. They do not see that your silence is not coldness. It is protection, the only kind you know how to give yourself when the world refuses to understand. This did not start on Valentine's Day. It started with a person, a moment, a loss. Something happened that changed you. Something that left a mark so deep it rewired the way you experience this time of year. Something that divided your life into before and after. Maybe it was a breakup, the kind that did not just end a relationship, but ended a version of yourself you thought would last forever. The kind that shattered something you did not even know could break. Maybe it was a betrayal, the discovery that someone you trusted completely was not who you thought they were. The collapse of a reality you had built your life around. Maybe it was a death, the loss of someone you loved so deeply that their absence still echoes through every February, every anniversary, every quiet night when you reach for someone who is no longer there. Or maybe it was something quieter, a love that was never returned, a chance you never took, a door that closed before you were ready to let go. Whatever it was, it mattered. It mattered so much that your body stored it, filed it away, connected it to this day, this season, this time of year when the world talks about nothing but love. And now, every February, your system opens that file, not to hurt you, to honor what was lost. Because grief is not just pain. Grief is love with nowhere to go. It is the proof that something was real, that someone mattered, that your heart was open enough to feel something that most people spend their whole lives avoiding. You did not become this way by accident. You became this way because you loved, because you lost, because you survived something that left a mark. And that mark does not make you damaged. It makes you human. The wound is not a flaw. It is evidence. Evidence that you are capable of feeling deeply, of loving fully, of giving yourself to something that was bigger than you. And when that something was taken away, you did not just forget it. You carried it. You are still carrying it. Not because you are weak, because it mattered. And some things that matter never fully leave us. They become part of who we are. So here you are, the one who feels old wounds on Valentine's Day. The one who cannot just celebrate like everyone else. The one who carries something heavy while the world around you stays light. The one who remembers what others have forgotten. You have been made to feel like something is wrong with you. Like you should be over it by now. Like your pain has an expiration date. Like the fact that you still feel it means you are doing something wrong. But now you see it differently. You feel old wounds because you loved deeply. You hurt on this day because something real was lost. You carry this weight because your heart was open enough to let someone in, and brave enough to feel the full cost of their absence. That is not weakness. That is not being stuck. That is depth. The world celebrates love on February 14th. But love is not just the beginning. It is not just the flowers and the dinners and the happy posts. Love is also the after, the missing, the remembering, the ache that never fully goes away. And you know that love. You know it more intimately than most people ever will. You know what it costs to care that much. You know what it feels like to lose something that cannot be replaced. You know the weight of walking through a world that has moved on while you are still holding what was lost. That is not something to be fixed. That is something to be witnessed. You are not less than people who celebrate this day. You are just loving differently. Loving in memory. Loving in absence. Loving in the quiet places where no one else can see. And that love is just as real, maybe more real, because it costs you something to feel it. And you feel it anyway. The red and pink decorations will return next year. The commercials will play. The couples will celebrate. And you will feel that familiar tightening in your chest. That old ache waking up again. But this time, maybe you will understand it differently. Not as brokenness, as honoring. Honoring what was real. Honoring what you lost. Honoring the part of you that still remembers how to love even when it hurts. That is who you are. And there is nothing wrong with that. Next February, the world will celebrate again. The stores will fill with red. The songs will play. The couples will post their pictures and plan their dinners and exchange their gifts. And you will feel it. The old wound. The familiar ache. The quiet pain that no one else sees. But this time, instead of asking yourself what is wrong with you, pause, just for a moment, and ask something different. What if the pain you carry is not a sign that you are broken, but proof that you once loved something worth remembering? You do not need to answer. Just let it sit with you. If any of this felt familiar, you do not have to explain your pain. You do not have to justify why this day still hurts. Just leave a quiet word. I felt this. That is enough. And if you want to stay here, if this felt like a place that sees what you carry in silence, subscribe. Not for content, for recognition. I will be here.